Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Gonna have a quick video lesson going over my trade on the day and a couple other plays. Had a couple decent calls. RDBX, that's the play of the day for me today. SPRB, PDSB, some early potential plays, looking at them early on. Um, just never shaped up. As you can see here, this ended up failing the open price VWAP level, becoming a pretty decent short, not trapping the shorts and squeezing higher and bringing in more volume. As we saw with TNXP yesterday, got an example of that here. We got some images comparing some open price plays from yesterday and how they worked out. So what the possibilities could be, and just judge the volume and the trend really to see how shorts get trapped in there and if it's gonna start squeezing higher, or if momentum fades out, you get volume exhaustion, more selling coming through, and starts breaking down below key levels. So those ended up being duds, but RDBX was a pretty good call today. Here's SPRB as well. This one major failure, as we can see with the history, just horrible. Never holds its gains. Um, yeah, so we got a massive gap up or spike pre-market and did not hold, opened a dollar below the pre-market high, so that was incredible. Gave up a lot of its gains, so that was very sus, but was just looking for a possible bounce as it's way off the highs. And if that could line up with open price and VWAP, that could trigger a quick little move that will end up probably getting shorted into. But we're just looking for the quick short squeeze. That's all we're looking for. And today we got RDBX, left a lot on the table. Didn't even have that great a size. I didn't take that great of a play here. Let's just dive into it. Right out of the watch list, it was a top play here in the morning. Looking for a multi-day bounce for a quick snipe, 10-15%. As we always talk about, this thing spikes typically about 30%. Obviously, can go higher or lower, around 25%. So, was being cautious of that while it was getting into a whole dollar, half dollar level. That's what was testing my patience. But the entry was fantastic. I think the initial entry with the starter was really good. I should have just been more eager to get some more shares in there, a few more hundred at least, as it came back and broke through. And then the plan from here was really we'll size up into the dip as it fails to break down, proving that it's holding the high a day, showing to shorts that it should get squeezed higher as it's failing to break down and head even lower on the overall chart here. Shorts are in control, and now we're just getting short covering. So once we get that momentum shift, they'll lock in their shares, leading to a spike. We saw a great one yesterday. IMMX, this thing gapped up big time. Ended up getting this 220 to 265 yesterday. This is what's possible, and I think I came in with the expectation of something like this happening. So when it didn't happen, it kind of mind fucked me, and here we are selling into the spike after we get the volume exhaustion rather than being patient and seeing how it keeps holding up. We only had a couple hundred shares, wasn't much. Only made just about 80 bucks on this today when I should have been adding more into this. Sure, bringing my average up a bit, probably to the 650s or 650s or so. But still, that leaves us with a solid profit angle. If it gets to the 720s, 730s, we're still making our 10% with bigger size. That's how I should have played it, but was thinking of the money and had the expectation of it doing what IMMX did yesterday with a massive short squeeze. This is what I usually expect. Um, so coming in with a bit of a bias of what it should do, and that affected my trading. So as you can see, what it is possible these plays could do. We've seen this before. CYN, I think it was last month, offered a monster move. That's the first one off the top of my head. What else is there? I think Pixie was a decent one as well. I forgot last month as well. But yeah, so was looking for the multi-day bounce and captured it here after hours. They don't always work out the way you want. Here we're topping out. It looks like maybe in the mid sevens. Some volume fading up about 30%. I'd be looking to sell here if I was still in this. But of course, it could break expectations and head higher. But yeah, all we're looking for is a momentum shift. The ideal entry is the high a day here on the break or on the confirmation, as it's showing that it's failing to break down and head lower. It tried heading lower here, but it came right back, held six like a champ, reclaimed VWAP, and that's why I was getting in here when it started popping up above high a day. It just showed the strength behind the play and failure to really head lower. There's no strength on the seller side. So there was that. Then there was BKSY, which I did not capture, but nonetheless a decent little play. It didn't really offer what we usually look for, but we do have this solid bounce play here, getting it in the low threes. There is a possibility of getting close to 10% into the 330 area if you were patient. This was kind of choppy and slow as well, so that is that. Probably going to just ignore this. Maybe this ends up finishing red and continues lower and shorts take control and we get a bounce later on next week maybe or tomorrow, who knows. But right now, just going to ignore this. I tweeted this out as well. Not bad of a call, I would say, with that. Offered a decent little perk. Um, but yeah, so kind of a chill day. Could have been something if I sized up or was more patient with RDBX. But nonetheless, recognized the play, got in it, 1 for 1. Can't complain about that. Green is green. I'll take it. So I think that is it. SIGA, this is one I'll leave you guys with. Maybe keep an eye on. I don't know if I'd be taking it now mid-range here as it has overhead resistance and it is a bit far from the nearest support, right around 11 here. So I would probably wait for it to get back to 15-ish, as I'm pretty sure it's an all-time high. Let me double check here. Yeah. So we got an all-time high right around mid-15s here. So if this could hold up, the 15, mid-15s, high 14s area, confirm these areas of support, that could trigger a short squeeze. What else is there? That is kind of it. Well, that's this gap up here with MF. Solid gap up, really. Going from, what was it close? 24 and a half. We'll just call it 25. Today's high, 38. Pre-market was getting to 40. Very impressive. But, got the major gap up. Selling came through. Profit takers, short sellers coming in again. Betting against this garbage play, as you can see from the history. I'd be bearish on it too, going from top left to bottom right. Any pop seems to be a good shorting opportunity. So, all unexpected gap up, I would say. I didn't even see this thing here after hours taking off. But yeah, so just a little lesson on momentum here. How this thing kept holding trend, volume kept coming in for it, and finished near the highs. If it was a different price, and we were in a market environment where gap ups were working, probably would be something. But typically, this is what you look for in something that you'd want to take overnight. Closing near the highs, failing to break down, decent volume on the day. It was the first time in a while it's did some good volume. Um, yeah, but then don't overstay your welcome because after day 2, 3, 4, these plays, the odds of them continuing dwindles and shorts just keep packing it. Buyers disappear and you start getting a reversal. And sometimes you get some, with these garbage plays, you get some toxic financings out of nowhere. You'll see an offering or something that causes the play to tank 20% within 5 minutes or so. So keep yourself safe. Stay around high odds setups. That's why I took RDBX, IMMX yesterday. All these are reliable patterns that I've tracked and I know how they work and I know the psychology behind them. So I am comfortable in these plays. Um, but yeah, we'll just wrap it up there. We'll be back later. We'll be live in a couple hours to finish off the day. So I gotta do a watch list later on, whatnot. So we'll be back. Just want to get some of these plays out there, comparing IMMX and RDBX, how different these plays were. Um, let's see. This one was a low float here. See what RDBX is. Also a low float, doing pretty good volume. A little bit different of a setup, I will say that. They did both run percentage-wise what I look for, but IMMX seemed more of like that clean run up and tank, and then you get the bounce, rather than this thing with RDBX where you got this huge run up here, doesn't offer a bounce, it fails, offers a crazy bounce that first day, running 100%. Then it goes from 250 back up to 9.5. So this one's got a lot of eyes, a lot of conflicting thoughts and opinions going into this. So I think that's why it's not as clear cut compared to IMMX, where some of these patterns, you know, they are a little bit more clean. Let's review CYN from last month. Like I said, you got the huge run up, tank, bounce. Let's go to Pixie. Run up, tank, bounce. So, these more clear cut plays offer, looks like, as of based off today's plays, how they're working, they offer stronger pushes, more clear cut pushes. Um, RDBX here still holding up, but having a hard time. So we'll just wrap it up. This video is a bit longer than I would have liked, but solid little win today. Not much, but just recognizing the pattern and the psychology is still working out. I just butchered my execution of it, so good lesson for me as well with being patient, not just focusing on the money. The money will follow. Just execute it properly. I had the plan. We went over this live. I said if I miss my ads, I'll wait for the dip, confirming the high a day. And I just started thinking about money, got a little antsy, saw that volume exhaustion into a whole dollar, half dollar level. And after I sold half my position, one thing I have a hard time with is keeping the rest of my position for a while. I just get antsy and I just want to sell it and just lock in my gains. So we'll just wrap it up there. Hope everyone had a great one. Great day today so far. Subscribe to our channel. Give this a thumbs up if this was useful. Besides that, check out our Twitter. Pumping out some good content. Decent calls out there. Um, Besides that, if you want some low cost live streams, check us out on tradecaster.com. Have a great rest of your day.